Billionaire, entrepreneur, TV personality, and media proprietor Mark Cuban is one of the richest men in the world. He is ranked 177 on the Forbes list of the 400 richest Americans, and his net worth is in the billions. Some of his major assets include the Dallas Mavericks professional basketball team and the 2929 Entertainment Media Company. That being said, in this video, we're going to be looking at how this billionaire entrepreneur spends his billions. If you aren't someone who keeps up with the yearly roster released by Forbes, you probably have no idea how much money Mark Cuban has to his name. Heck, you might only know him from his regular appearance on the ABC show Shark Tank. However, there is more to this wealthy billionaire than just a TV show, and you're going to find out why the more you watch. Born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Mark Cuban came from a Jewish working-class family and had to work his way up from there. He started his first business venture at 12 by selling garbage bags to pay for a new pair of expensive basketball shoes. As the years went by, he advanced to selling stamps and coins to make a few extra bucks. By 16, Mark Cuban took advantage of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette strike and upgraded to running newspapers from Cleveland to Pittsburgh. He later enrolled in the University of Pittsburgh as a full-time student instead of attending high school for his senior year. He also joined the Pi Lambda Phi fraternity when he got into the University of Pittsburgh. After a year at this university, Mark Cuban transferred to Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in management from the Kelley School of Business in 1981. He chose the School of Business in Indiana without even visiting the campus because, according to him, the school had the least expensive tuition of all the business schools on his top 10 list. While in college, he built various business ventures, which were referred to as his first dive into the business world. In college, he owned a bar, operated and offered disco lessons, and a chain letter. When college was over, Mark Cuban decided to try his hand at various institutions for a while. He returned to Pittsburgh, took on a job with Mellon Bank, a big-time investment company in Pennsylvania, and immersed himself in studying machines and networking. A year later, he moved to Dallas, Texas, where he initially got a job as a barkeeper for a Greenville Avenue bar called Elan. He later got a job as a salesperson for Your Business Software, one of Dallas's earliest PC software retailers. However, he got fired less than a year later after meeting with the client to acquire new business instead of opening the store. This wasn't enough to make Mark Cuban lose hope, as he even started his own business called Micro Solutions. With some assistance from his former customers from Your Business Software, his company, Micro Solutions, was originally a system integrator and a software reseller. The company was an early supporter of technologies such as Carbon Copy, Lotus Notes, and CompuServe, with one of the biggest clients being Perot Systems. The company grew to have more than $30 million in revenue, and by 1990, Mark Cuban sold the company to CompuServe for $6 million. He made roughly $2 million after taxes on the deal, giving his net worth its first significant boost. In 1995, along with fellow Indiana University alumnus Todd Wagner, he told AudioNet and combined their common interest in Indiana Hoosier College basketball and webcasting to take over the company. 3 years later, AudioNet became Broadcast.com, and a year later, the company had grown to have over 330 employees and $13.5 million in revenue. In 1999, Broadcast.com helped launch the first live-streamed Victoria's Secret fashion show. During the dot-com boom later that year, Broadcast.com received a lot of attention and success, eventually getting acquired by Yahoo for $5.7 billion in Yahoo stock. This gave Mark Cuban his first taste of billionaire status, as he sold his shares in the company for $1 billion. After Yahoo purchased his company, the dot-com era ended, and Broadcast.com and Yahoo's other broadcasting services were ended within a few years after the acquisition. This earned the costly purchase of Broadcast.com the title of one of the worst internet acquisitions of all time. Luckily for Mark Cuban, he had sold the company and his shares in Yahoo before that whole situation. Mark Cuban continues to work with Wagner in other business ventures. 2929 Entertainment, which works to provide the vertically integrated production and distribution of films and video. After a couple of years, on September 24th of 2003, the company acquired Landmark Theaters, a chain of 58 art house movie theaters. This company is also responsible for the updated version of the TV show Star Search, broadcasted on CBS. 2929 Entertainment also released Bubble, a movie directed by Steven Soderbergh, in 2006. Mark Cuban was featured on Best Magazine's November 2003 premiere issue cover, which announced the arrival of high-definition television. He was also the co-founder of AXS TV, formerly HDNet, the first high-definition satellite network, along with Philip Garvin. In February of 2004, Mark Cuban announced that he would work with ABC Television to make a reality television series called The Benefactor. The whole point of the 6-point series involved 16 contestants trying to win $1 million by participating in various contests, with their performances judged by Mark Cuban himself. It premiered on September 13, 2004, but it was canceled before the full season could air due to its poor ratings. In 2016, Mark Cuban reached 190th on the Forbes list of richest people, with a net worth of $3.9 billion. However, these weren't the only business ventures that Mark Cuban was a part of. He also assisted business ventures in the social software and distributed computer networking system industries. He was the owner of IceRocket, a search engine that searches the blogosphere for content, and a partner in Red Swoosh, a company that uses peer-to-peer technology to provide rich media, including video and software to a user's computer, which Akami later acquired. He was also a stakeholder in Weblogs Inc., which AOL acquired. Mark Cuban had been involved in many other business ventures, one of which is the ABC show Shark Tank, which he has been investing in since 2011. As of May 2015, Mark Cuban invested in 85 deals across 111 Shark Tank episodes, bringing it to a total of $19.9 million. Since he joined the show in 2011, Shark Tank's ratings have increased, and the show has won 4 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Structured Reality Television from 2014 to 2017. He also owns or has invested in other businesses like Magnolia Pictures, Dogecoin, and Cost Plus Drug Company, amongst others. You ever heard of a town in Navarro County in Texas, United States called Mustang? As of the United States Census of 2020, the town has a 0 population. But that didn't stop this billionaire entrepreneur from buying this 77-acre town for $2 million in December 2021. Founded in the early 1970s, the town of Mustang was the local watering hole when most of the Navarro County prohibited liquor sales. In 2017, the town was put on the market with a price tag of $4 million. But the property was never sold because it was considered too expensive by potential buyers. With a population of 23, the town was only home to a trailer park and a strip club for years. Just gonna linger on that one for a second. In an interview with the Dallas Morning News, Mark Cuban said that he made the purchase to help a friend and doesn't know what he's gonna do with it yet. On January 4th, 2000, Mark Cuban bought a majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks basketball team for $285 million. In the 20 years before he acquired them, the team won only 40% of their games with a playoff record of 21-32. However, in the years following the purchase, the team won 69% of their regular season games, getting to the playoffs in each of those seasons except for one. The Mavericks' playoff record with Mark Cuban is 49-57, including their first trip to the NBA Finals in 2006, where they lost to the Miami Heat. In the past, NBA team owners played more passive roles publicly and watched basketball games from skyboxes. However, Mark Cuban sits alongside fans while donning team jerseys. While this sounds like a good thing, it usually isn't, as Mark Cuban has been fined no less than $1.665 million for 13 incidents by the NBA, mostly for critical statements about the league and the referees. Just as you'd expect, Mark Cuban currently has a very fancy mansion worth about $17.6 million. He paid about $13 million for it in 1999. The property was built only 2 years earlier, and Mark thought it was just too good to pass up. The French chateau-style mansion is made out of stone, and it sits on a massive property spread across 7 acres of land, which is bigger than 5 basketball courts, BT dubs. The main house, designed to wrap around a grand entrance with a fountain at center, is a sprawling 23,676 square feet. It comes with 10 bedrooms and 16 bathrooms, amongst other great amenities. Besides the main house, there's also a 3-story guest house, which looks like a family home. The property has 3 garages attached to the main house, but Mark Cuban built 2 more. Mark Cuban also owns a 22-year-old Gulfstream G550, which he bought online in 1999. The purchase, worth $40 million, made the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest single e-commerce transaction. He still holds the record currently. He refers to this private jet as the smartest thing he's ever bought. The second jet in his collection is a 28-year-old Boeing 757, which he bought in 2000 for $36 million to transport his NBA team. Comes with a weight room, special meeting setups, and space for medical treatments and coaching his connectivity resources. As previously stated, Mark Cuban has been involved in many controversies on the basketball court, which has earned him about 13 NBA fines worth up to $1.665 million. In an interview with the Associated Press, he said that he matches NBA fines with charitable donations of equal amounts. Apparently, he really wasn't kidding with that statement. Mark Cuban donated $10 million to organizations that promote women in leadership roles and combat domestic violence after the NBA found serious workplace misconduct by former and current employees, as well as improper and ineffective management. He's also contributed $100,000 to the National Association of Black Journalists, NABJ, COVID-19 Relief Fund, which has been established to assist sports and non-sports journalists whose jobs have been affected by layoffs due to the pandemic. So, there you have it. Thanks for watching how Mark Cuban spends his $4.7 billion.